Welcome to the VŌC Podcast.
Welcome to this Halloween special episode of the VŌC Podcast. Today we're back with professional voice actor and writer Gary Schwartz, whom you guys might know best as the Heavy and the Demoman from your favorite game, Team Fortress 2. How are you, Demo?
Oh, I'm doing bloody well. How are you?
I'm just fine. So good to see you.
Yeah.
In the flesh again after so long, you know?
Aye.
So Demo, how are you, Demo, and like you can say the same for Heavy as well, but how are you liking the search for this item, the sandwich? Like, how is that
It's
going?
a bloody lark. It's a lot of fun. I haven't gotten a lot of screen time because mostly Heavy is like going after that sandwich like gangbusters.
Yeah. Yeah, he's really taken a lot of screen time because he's just such a, like, you can kind of connect the sandwich to the Heavy, and those two are kind of synonymous with each other.
And plus he's having kind of a bromance with the medic.
Yes.
Of course.
You know,
Yeah.
speaking of the sandwich, is Demo gonna get like searching for the rum or the scrampe?
Oh, that'll be the next thing, I think. I've got me scrampy. I know where it is. And I ain't seeing.
All right. Well, let's hope it won't disappear mysteriously.
Oh no. Oh, I'll tell you, I'd get the shakes without me scrampy.
Yeah. You start to go a little crazy
Start to
with
go
that.
a little wild. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the
Definitely.
sandwich to your Heavy, you know?
Oh, I wish it worked the same way.
Exactly. Yeah. Demo, how did it start? You know, like how did it like what spurred what started this journey?
Oh, well. Robin Atkin Downs. He came up from LA to join the reunion cast.
Oh,
And we just started farting around. And so we all went on a break to this little sandwich shop right off the hotel.
mm,
And he got out his little thing and he says, look, let's all do our voices and ask for where there's a sandwich.
yeah.
And it was a sandwich shop, but they didn't have any sandwiches on display. So it turned out great.
Yeah, that's maddening
Yeah.
to me that you know you would go into a place that advertises something that they don't actually have.
Oh, it's on the menu, but it's not in the bloody glass.
It's not.
case.
Yeah. It's not a glass
bloody
case. Yeah.
hell.
That's
Yeah.
criminal.
There's no examples of a sandwich at a sandwich shop. Are you kidding me, man?
And they look so
Right?
flabbergasted when
Yeah.
you I think it was the medic that asked for the sandwich, and they were just like they didn't know anything about they were just flabbergasted. Like, how do you not know about the sandwich?
Oh, I know. And because it was at PAX, all of the people there were all PAX people and everything. And they just
Yeah.
looked at us like, are those the real guys?
They are.
You know,
Yeah,
I mean, sorry to interrupt you, but I mean, you were in the news twice, this Sandvich Saga thingy.
I
And,
know that. Yeah.
my question is, you've made quite a few videos of this, searching for the sandwich. So, did you guys run into any fans Demo with the others who would recognize you,
Who recognized me as Demo?
who recognize
Yeah.
you, people? Yeah.
just they like they recognize you guys as like,
No,
oh wait.
no.
Oh.
Well, we just did one on a ferry, out here in Seattle. And they all thought I was a pirate.
Yeah, but I mean they
How
don't.
dare
So
they?
you didn't actually have anybody like recognize you guys as like the cast of the game. you
No.
know? Oh, okay.
I don't know about you, but that's sort of disappointing. Fans, where are you? Why are you not on like a cruise ship?
Aye, well, that's the whole point, We're
Yeah.
trying to get ourselves invited around the world.
Yeah. Yeah. The most recent episode, I think, was on that cruise ship with Dennis Bateman and the others. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Aye, yeah. That's right. We just shot that a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
That was the brainchild of John Patrick Lowry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The sniper seemed to, he was the one holding the camera, right? And it seemed
yeah.
like, yeah, I mean, it seemed like, it's everyone loves it. Everyone can't get enough of it. And everyone hopes that there's more of it because people are animating it like they're animating it in the form of like the characters that you guys portray.
I know. It's great. I tell you. And there's a Twin Peaks twist to
yes.
There's a subplot with Heavy and Twin Peaks,
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah. I mean, look,
and we're going to be having a couple of mind meld videos.
Yes, we've seen
those.
those.
And Medic.
Okay. We're
Look
looking
for that in the future.
We are. He has to come back because like it seems like he's going some sort of like he's going through a lot. He's going through the desert. He's like lost and he's starving and he seems like he's going through a lot just to find you guys. So like you guys are finding the sandwich, you guys are trying to find each other, and it's just such a heart-wrenching it's just such a story that's just so captivating. And look, we need to know this. Like we're on the edge of our seats about this. Will you find the sandwich? Will you find it?
Only time will tell, lad.
There needs to be like a certain thing. We hope you find it because that's such like an important like piece of the puzzle to all this. And like that's the thing. Like another reason I asked that is like we want more of it. Like, will there be more? Will there be more added to the Sandvich Saga that we can just bask in, like we can enjoy?
Absolutely, yes. Coming up.
Okay.
Are you guys going to go like more abroad? Like you guys going to try to like go outside like Twin Peaks and stuff like that and travel more?
Outside the Twin Peaks, sure. Yeah, there's I think Lowry and Downs are in LA now doing something.
Oh, really? Oh, that's okay. That's good to know. That's very good to know.
Don't want to let the cat out of the bag because I don't know what the fucking cat looks like.
I mean, that's what we're here to do. Like, I wanted just to get I wanted to see what the cat looked like a little bit. That's why I'm trying to like pick your brain so I can like
don't know. It's just when we get a brain fart, we call each other up and say, "Hey, let's shoot this." So we just don't know until we do it.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
So you guys got some looks like, looking your way when you guys were doing your thing, right? Like looking for the sandwich, right? That must have felt great.
That was fun. That's a lot.
Yeah.
All right. Am I done enough of Demoman? Can I take this bloody thing off?
Yes, Demoman. I think
you can keep it up, or you can, or if you want to go back to, maybe you want to switch to Heavy, or you want to go back to Gary.
Let's switch to Gary.
It's me, Heavy Weapons guy. Ha!
Well, Gary, actually, speaking of these games and everything, so I'm sure you remember this game called The Jungle Book. Came out in 1996.
Yeah.
And there, you also did a Scottish accent.
That was my very first Scottish character.
Yeah.
Colonel Ilgwam.
That's right. That's exactly what I wanted to ask about is people have seen those clips and they really thought that you sound like Demoman. So my question would be, is just your normal voice with a Scottish accent Demoman's voice, or what do you think is behind it?
No, mostly this is what I sound like normally.
Mm-hmm. All right. Wow.
Yeah.
No, that's the character Bravo Fox there.
Yeah.
Zoobly Zoo. No, my voice is just my voice. But I remember going out for that video game, The Jungle Book, which was an early attempt at live action, mixing live action with animation. Plus, it was in the early days of video games where they were puzzle solving. You had to, in other words, to get to another level, you had to solve this puzzle, that puzzle, this puzzle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was such like an aesthetic time for those kinds of games, because like it's such a, I consider like those kinds of games that kind of like back in the day that would like mix live action and the actual video game itself. It's like it's kind of like its own kind of art style that's like really reminiscent of that time. And yeah, like, and I think actually some people love it so much.
I think it was the company that was doing the video game had licensed the Disney Jungle Book footage of Monkey City. And so they had to do a thing all around Monkey City, which is why I carried a live chimp with me in that game.
Yeah.
And we played with real tiger cubs, and there was an actual orangutan.
Yeah.
We were all told to stay away from.
Wow.
There was a sign next to the orangutan that said, you know, I have a 9-foot reach and I can rip your face off.
Oh, sounds like a tank.
I believe it, but would you actually want to come back to those kinds of things? Let's say like a lot of people love that kind of like art style or way of doing games.
This was long before anybody ever heard of motion capture or anything like that. You know, I had to watch in a little monitor where I was in relation to the background that they put up for me. And I remember like running through the jungle. I was on a treadmill, and there we had grips moving plants past me as I was going.
Wow.
Like that, you know, those were crude old days, but they were, that's, you know, it's like it's like the silent movie days of video games, you know?
Yeah, exactly. That's such a great way to put it. Yeah. But those were the days though, right? Like,
that's how it was all started. Yeah. I did some very, very early video games. Star Trek Armada.
Speaking of the Jungle Book, do you remember any lines or the specific voice you did? Because I have a line here from the game, and we were wondering if you'd be able to recite that. It's I'm not sure if you remember it. You're the one that's supposed to save the jungle.
You're the one that's supposed to save the jungle? Forgive me for saying so. And then the camera turns upside down, right?
Yeah.
Demoman made an appearance way before the game actually came out.
Yeah, and it was really interesting. I remember going on the audition for that game, and the character breakdown said, Colonel Ilguam, he has the what was it? He has the he has the patience of Gandhi and the humor of John Candy. And so, you know, I read that and I laughed. And when I walked into the audition, they say, well, you know, do you think you can do this character? I say, well, I tell you, I think I have the humor of Gandhi and the patience of John Candy.
Exactly, yeah.
And they laughed and they said, okay. So, and I got cast based on making that joke. I don't know.
Yeah. But it was a lot of fun. Job. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a lot. That took like a whole week of shooting.
Just a week? Oh wow.
Yeah.
I believe it.
You know, people consider that game as the origin of Demoman's voice. Like,
well, probably it was. I tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I spent a whole week doing Colonel Ilguam, which is Mowgli spelled backwards.
Wow. Mowgli. Okay. That's good to know.
That's one of the clues. That's one of the clues in the game.
Oh wow! I ought to play it somehow. If I'll be able to get it somewhere.
I did another early game on Laserdisc called the Disney Disc of Fantasy and Magic.
Oh.
And I played a butler who was the host of the game. Took you all through this haunted mansion. So, and I think actually there's footage of that on YouTube somewhere too.
There's so many games we don't know about that you've been into, you know, like Team Fortress 2 and Dota. These are the stuff that you're probably the most known for, but the other stuff, we got to look into that like seriously.
Oh yeah. You only live forever.
Well, we only live for once. Yeah.
You only live
so much.
That's why I want to ask this next question, because I don't think you ever talked about this. And I'm not sure if you remember this at all, but in 1997, there was a show called Ellen featuring Ellen DeGeneres, and apparently you appeared on that. So if you could say something about that, we'd appreciate it.
Talk about that, please.
Well, I knew the writer and the showrunner on that show, and Dave Flabot and Jonathan Stark were running that show, and they literally wrote it a couple of lines for me, and asked me to be this guy who sold bad jokes to who was it? The guy. I've forgotten the guy's name. He was in Entourage. But yeah, I sold bad jokes. I was selling bad jokes out of a comedy store, out of a comedy club, and for $50 a joke or something like that. And he bought a couple of bad jokes from me.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, that's the story about it.
Yeah, and actually, that was the episode that was that the episode? No, there was another. They shot 2 episodes that week, so we were shooting simultaneously 2 different episodes. And one of the guest stars on that episode was Martha Stewart. And my wife was a big Martha Stewart fan, and when we went to the taping, she brought a Martha Stewart book to get autographed.
That's nice.
But yeah, I got the job basically because I knew a couple of the people. Jonathan Stark, great producer, writer, improv guy. He and I were in our very first acting class in LA together, or my very first acting class, Elizabeth Hoffman's acting class. And Dave Flabot is a writer-producer who, fascinating guy. He wrote, he got a lot of work from writing a spec script for the Larry Sanders Show that never got produced, but it was so funny that the script got passed around, and he got a huge kick from that, and started becoming like a sought-after comedy writer.
Did you actually meet Ellen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very sweet. Although that was sort of in the waning days when I think the pressure about her coming out was happening, and Disney wasn't thrilled with her. So I didn't sense any tenseness on the set, but she was very distracted, I think.
I have a question for you that relates to, and now correct me if I'm wrong, but like the first, this is another topic, by the way, but like it has to do with like your role in like video games, where is it true that the first kind of video game themed thing was actually Super Mario? Is that true? Because Super Mario, you were in the Super Mario Bros. TV show, right?
Right.
So like that was in 1989, and like you didn't do like any video game stuff before that, right?
I think it was like 85 or 86.
I think, yeah, on the IMDb it says 89. That might have been like when it ended, but like that time frame. Yeah. So like I just realized like that was kind of like your first kind of video game.
I was actually shooting Zoobly Zoo at the time.
Oh.
And Deke Enterprises also was shooting, doing Mario Brothers. And so they asked me to come down, actually, for I think I shot for a couple of different days. And I shot 4 episodes of Mario Brothers with Lou Albano and the other guy.
Yeah, that's cool. Where do you want to like? I was thinking, would you want to, you know, if the opportunity presented itself, would you want to come back as the characters that you portrayed in like the new Mario movie? Would you want to do characters.
That? I got to tell you a funny story. Because I did those Mario Brothers and I was working on Zoobly Zoo, Andy Hayward, the president of Deke Enterprises at the time. I don't even know if Deke is around anymore. They might have been bought out by Saban. But he got us to do, as characters from Zoobly Zoo, his kid's birthday party. And then they had a live action cartoon show of the Mario Brothers Super Hour, and the host was going to be King Koopa, the alligator, right? And so what they wanted, because it was a live action show, they wanted King Koopa to, be this really guy who hates kids, but he's hosting this kid show with kids in the audience.
Oh, wow.
Really?
And I had to talk like, and it was a real throat ripper, I had to talk like King Koopa. And so I had to improvise. So they had me improvise. What would you say to kids, And I was kind of doing sort of jokes that WC Fields might have done. I don't know if you remember WC Fields.
No.
This guy who talks like this.
No.
My little chickadee. You don't remember WC Fields from oh my God, I'm getting so old.
I'm
anyway,
half uncultured.
So WC Fields was a great sort of curmudgeonly misanthropic comedian who hated children. And so
oh my God. I mean, I'm looking him up now, and I see.
Oh my goodness! Yeah. WC Fields. I used to do this monologue. He goes, "I was tending bar one day down Lower Sandusky. Tough Paloma came in there by the name of Chicago Molly. I cautioned her, none of your picadillos in here. There was a hot lunch on the bar comprising of hot succotash, green beans, Philadelphia cream cheese. She dips her mitt into this melange, smacks me right in the face with it. Well, I jumps over the bar and I knocks her down." And then the little guy says, "You didn't knock her down. I was the one that knocked her down." And he goes, "That's right. Yeah, he knocked her down. He knocked her down.
He knocked her down.
He knocked her down. I was the one who started kicking her. I kicked this woman in her midriff." You ever kick a woman in her midriff? Had a pair of corsets on and never had such a painful experience. Almost broke my great toe.
Just the way that you're like, how you're doing that impression. I'm also simultaneously in another tab. I see a picture of what he looks like, and it just fits together so perfectly because it's just the face that he's giving. It's just like, and like the voice, like
he was one of Hollywood's great alcoholics.
I was seeing that,
yeah.
Hard drinking egotist.
Oh my God, hates
children and dogs.
And dogs, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
A great character, So anyway, I was doing King Koopa and hurting my voice, but improvising and making everybody laugh. And so they offered me the job as the host of this live action Saturday or weekday afternoon after school cartoon show, the host of this cartoon show, Mario Brothers cartoons. And I didn't want to take it. And they, because it would hurt my throat. DEEK Enterprises was notoriously known as one of the cheapest companies in town. And DEEK, D-I-C, we always laughed and called it, do it in Canada. It's cheaper. And so I turned it down, and they kept saying, "No, we want you." And so I went on the callback, and there was me and this other guy were in the running for the show. And I looked at him and I said, "Jesus, I hope you get it." Anyway, they wanted me and I turned it down. So they went with the second guy, and then the show lasted about a week before it was canceled off the air.
Oh my God.
And DEEK blamed me and banned me from ever auditioning for them again.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Does anybody else? It doesn't seem like many people know about that.
No, why would they? Nobody would know about that.
Yeah, it's like, why would you just, randomly mention that? But like for the sake of this, of like,
like, because the Mario Brothers Super Show was a DEEK show. And so, and Zoobly Zoo was a Hallmark and DEEK property. And so, they thought we were in their stable. And then when I turned them down, they just They never forgave me.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I see.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do the voice, and the show. I have to wear this horrible alligator mask, and
Well, I mean, that voice was similar to the Heavy's voice, wasn't it?
But the heavy voice was less raspy.
Mm-hmm.
Kikuba was
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
A lot of
You're
up
not like
here. Heavy is down here where I can do this all day.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
It's
now
not
I
like
see.
it's not like you're like playing as like a massive reptilian as the Heavy. It's two different things. It's like
but without the humor, without the heavy humor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
was doing WC Fields as an alligator.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you basically were going to like play as King Koopa or Bowser, like, almost. Then,
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
Because like this new Mario movie's coming out, and it's like a CG. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's like you have like Chris Pratt playing as Mario.
Oh, and he's not even using an Italian accent.
Look, you want to know why? Like, can I tell you why? Like, I think they cast him. It's purely from the basis of that he's cool, and like that's why they cast him. But like, yeah, I saw that too. Like, he's not like speaking in like an Italian accent, but yeah.
The two Marios that I worked with, Albano and the other guy, they did, but they had kind of Brooklyn, down. They were like, more cartoonish.
Exactly. Yeah.
Not like I'm Mario.
I'm Mario, and he's just like, wow, like a mushroom. But yeah. Oh man, it would have been so cool. I mean, this is just a fever dream. It's like, but it's a fever dream. But it would have been cool if you like were Bowser in that. And I don't know who's playing Bowser in that, but it would be cool. And again, it's a fever dream. It's like
they
probably
recast these roles often.
Those are bygone days we're talking about, my friends, over 40 years ago.
Yeah. Another thing is that I think a lot of like Hollywood or whatever is they like to cast like movie actors to do voice roles.
You see, it's a celebrity issue that we have going on here.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's always been that way,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Why pay an actor who can do the actual voice? You could probably pay him like a 1,000th less than what you would pay Dustin Hoffman to do the voice. But you need the marquee value of it's Dustin Hoffman doing the voice of blah blah blah.
Exactly.
That's right.
Yeah, that's
and the only actors I think who are worth their salt doing animation: Robin Williams, Dan Castellaneta, Jack Black, Jim Carrey.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting back to actually Team Fortress 2 and the Heavy. Do you remember this poker night game where you did the Heavy's voice? So I wanted to ask, if you noticed any difference between recording for Telltale games and between recording for Valve.
I had to fly down to California to do Telltale, down to south of San Francisco, I think. And had a lovely studio. I had a great time. And that was I was and then actually Telltale, they did like Borderland, right?
I'm not sure if they did.
I think I got a couple of gigs. I think I got a couple of gigs from Borderland or from the Telltale people after doing that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they tend to do that actually.
Yeah.
The Telltale people. Yeah.
They like working with you. They start saying, let's call Gary and try this. And so I did Borderland and I think one other game for them.
Okay.
So you were in Borderlands. Or the Borderlands for the Telltale series.
Telltale,
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And that was good too. I mean, that was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was more sci-fi.
I gotta search that up too. Yeah, what voice did you do? And since this is a Halloween special episode, we thought it'd be funny if you do like Demoman's voice with a Russian accent and Heavy's voice with a Scottish accent. Is that possible? If we type you down some lines?
My goodness.
I
don't even know if I can do that. It's almost like you run a groove. So down here, I'm talking like Oh, you great cock splat.
Cry
like a baby. Jump in my belly.
That sounds like a concoction of two different things.
That's sort of Mike Myers' version of fat bastard doing heavy, right?
Yeah,
exactly. That's awesome, dude.
And if we could hear Demo with the Russian accent, is that even doable?
I don't think it's possible.
They're gonna have to glue you back together in hell.
No, but that's heavy doing Scottish.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to have to glue you back together in hell.
That was me trying to do a Demo making a heavy voice, but I don't know if it works.
Trying to make Demo doing Tavarishi, and it's hard not to do the Scottish with that.
That's okay.
Kind of goes together.
Yeah, I mean, after doing it for so many years.
Cry like baby.
Yeah. And okay, since it's, as I said, a Halloween special episode, would it be possible for you to recite a few Halloween lines for us? We're gonna mix it up. It's gonna be a line from Heavy, but you're gonna do it in the voice of Demo.
In Russia, if hand is rotten, you cut off hand. If arm is rotten, you cut off arm. But if heart is rotten, you cut off leg. This is Russian love song. Heavy, have something in eye. I am coming, cowards, to lay eggs in your mouth.
It's so funny when you say it like that. I mean, you must have cracked up the directors in the studio. Was that
because you actually said that at least another time in your life, right?
Yeah.
I regurgitate fish down your gullet. Marasmus, you turned me own eye against me, and by God, I'll kill you for it.
Nice.
Yeah, that's.
Do you know the lore behind that? Do you know anything about the lore, like involving Marasmus, which is like this wizard, and then the Demoman is like he stole Demoman's eye or something, and
I don't. Was that in the comic books?
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. No, I don't know about that, but I just had a look at the comic books recently because we did some live readings, I think, at a Comic-Con.
This was the moment when Gary got cursed by Marasmus himself, and Demoman appeared again to give the best Halloween farewell anyone would ever want.
Well, you fine dandies, I hope you have a happy Halloween, and you choke on your candy.